What's up out there? It's Polish Pete and this is Just Landed, and today we're doing part 2 of some of the Berkley expansion we just did. We landed a bunch of their new stuff and a big expansion in all their baits, and they've supply chain's freeing up. They're shipping us a bunch of stuff, and we just wanted to highlight some baits that have been around and some new ones as well, but that we expanded our inventory and our assortment with from Berkley. Biggest one I want to talk about is we have in the Fritz side now, we've kind of got a smattering of them throughout the year. Now we also have the 5s in all the colors. We have the 5s and the big ones in all the colors. We have Fritz side 7s and Fritz sides 9s. So the Fritz side, if you're not familiar with it, was designed by David Fritz. This is a very unique crankbait that has absolutely tore it up on all the tournament trails. This thing is winning a bunch of money. It's not just hearsay. It actually has won a whole bunch of money. We watched John Cox literally take these out of the package in his boat and win a tournament with them. These things come with Berkley fusion hooks on them. They have a really unique, they kind of cross between a bunch of different crankbaits. This particular one's almost like a square bill, a flat side, and a cold water crankbait all mixed into one. It's really been a fish producer in that 5, and they do make it in that 5 in the big one as well. So here you see the bigger size in it. So this is your 5-foot depth. You got the larger size and the small size there. If you're on a fishery without the biggest fish in the world and it's hard to get 5 bites, you're probably better off running this guy. Hunting for that big kicker fish, you can run that Fritz side 5. The 7, as it sounds like, running that 7-foot depth, so like a mid-depth crankbait range, along with the 9 as well. So if you're fishing off the edges a little bit and a little bit deeper water, you look at those Fritz side 7s and 9s. We did get the hit sticks in all 3 sizes. I have 2 representations here right now on the 11 and the 5. This thing is really getting all of its thunder in the walleye world as a trolling bait and a casting lure for walleye fishing. But if you've done any research out there's a bunch of guys that are actually fishing these like a jerk bait, a hard stick bait bass lure. That these things have actually caught a whole bunch of fish on a straight retrieve or on a hard snap and retrieve. So the hit sticks are in stock now for all you walleye guys looking for dinner. They're here. Next up is the Berkley Dredger family. We have the whole family. I just figured I'd show you one here. This one here happens to be the 25.5. So this thing gets deep, and we did get them in the HD colors, which is a high definition finish on these. So it's actually like a real life fish image and printed onto the crankbait. So if you're fishing really clear bodies of water, really finicky fish, this yellow perch right here looks just like a yellow perch. So if you're into that really realistic colors and finishes, which I've dabbled with myself a whole bunch, had some success with some types of baits and some not so much with others. I'm actually pumped to try these out for a particular body of water I fish. So the dredgers do run from really shallow running ones all the way up to 25+ footers. So check out that Dredger family there, also designed by David Fritz, by the way. This one here is the square bill. We have 3 different families in the square bill. This is another David Fritz designed square bill crankbait. This one is the smallest size here. This is the little 5.5. These things get great reviews from people as a great price point square bill. With square bills, a lot of times we're throwing them into terrible places you normally don't want to throw a crankbait, like around laydowns and rocks and rip-rap banks and things like that. So if you're not into throwing like $20 crankbaits into rocks and wood, check out this square bill. This thing has been a performer. And that last representation of some of the expansions we've done is we did add the bad shad. So something that comes up quite a bit in our neck of the woods up here in Minnesota is the popularity of the shad wrap. And one of the difficult things about a shad wrap is it doesn't cast super far, but shad style baits do really well in cold water presentations or in cold water times of the year. Shad wraps catch a lot of fish. It's one of my confidence baits, and Berkley has a version now in their bad shad that has a little bit of a weight to it. It's got some rattles in it, so you can cast this thing on bait casting equipment a little easier. Once again, similar to the square bill too, this thing's got a tough finish to it that's like a copolymer type finish to it, or a plastic body, so it's not going to be as easy to damage if you're throwing it around any cover. And our bass tend to get into a lot more cover, especially in those shallow cold water months. If they're up around some riprap and trees like I spoke about with the square bill, this is a good way to reach those fish in cold water that are very inactive and get a shad style bait in front of them. All these baits are on the site right now. Go check them out and go catch them.